All right, y'all. We are ready to party with Metal Gear Solid. House test whenever you are ready. Take us away.
There we go. Yeah, hello everyone. How's it going? My name is Hau5test, and today I have the chance to present to you Metal Gear Solid 2. After I already did this with Metal Gear MSX and Metal Gear Solid 1, coming back with the sequel to the legend that is Metal Gear Solid 1. But I'm not alone today as well. I also have another friend here, who's Fury. How's it going, Fury?
Hello. I'm good.
Excellent. And I've had a long day, so excuse me if I'm going to be a little bit more quiet, but that's why Fury C is going to explain a little bit how the run goes and everything. And if we're all ready, I'm going to count us down, and then we're going to do a fun little normal speedrun. So we begin in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Go. Boom. Off the rip. Let's go. Cutscenes and codecs. It's the MGS2 to a T. It's just MGS to a T. So yeah. Start of the tanker. Now we've got a little 5-6 minute section. It's going to be like actually a little bit shorter. We used to call it. It used to be a 6-minute section, but in reality, now thanks to a nice little glitch that was discovered recently, that House will be performing a little bit later, about 3 or 4 minutes. We'll see him skip a good chunk of it. So.
Yeah, the preparation already begins. As we can see, I'm throwing away my bullets basically, because once they're out, I'm gonna get a magazine, and we need a throwable item later for this specific trick.
Yep. He's making his way to the first boss fight, which is Olga. There's 2 RNG points in this section of the game. One's a boss fight, and one's technically like a mini boss fight. And yeah, as Hal said, he wanted to throw his ammo away so that he could get a magazine, because you don't spawn with a magazine on normal, but on very easy, which is like the most popular category, you just get given 7 of them. But the higher up you go, obviously the game's like, no, we're not just going to give you stuff for free. You have to go generate it, or you have to go get it.
Yep. And here's the first boss fight.
Oh. Left side Olga. She's potentially could be good here if she emptied her. It looked like she got fast shot, so could get the loop. Let's see.
Yeah, yes. There it is. All right. Nice. Yeah. Normally there would be cuts in here, but thanks to Olga being nice, it just doesn't do it.
Yeah, so that's like part of the RNG of this boss fight. Sometimes she has like 2 ways she can go. She can come right, what we call right side, where she comes down towards you in the box in front of you, or she goes left side, where she runs to the left behind it, and then runs around the front like she did there. If she runs to the left and shoots her mag, like she has different levels of how fast she can shoot. If you get the fastest one possible and she empties her mag by the time she reaches that little box in front, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the loop, at least. Like, and then it's just up to you to make sure you don't miss the shots, because if you wait like an extra second, she'll just go into the cutscene, the mini cutscene, and you'll just lose the loop and then lose time. So, but luckily, House got the best RNG there. You got the loop, which saves a lot of time. As you can see, you didn't get the mini cutscene. And we're off.
There we go. So this alert is intended here, because I don't want to have a cutscene happening in the next room, and it's also a little bit of setup for the next trick.
Yep. This is the glitch that I was talking about earlier that was found recently. It's was found by one of the great tanker runners that we have in the community, Chewable Prozac. We call it the Prozac skip, obviously named after him.
There you go.
Found it, so yeah, and it just skips the engine room. We used to have to go in the other side. If you've ever played MGS2, you'll know you'd have to go around after fighting Olga, you get the USP, you have to go all the way through the engine room. Well, and this door that House just like basically phased through is welded shut. But if you've played the game, when you come through here, you'll get a little mini cutscene when you come up to these near these sensors, and the guard will unweld the door. He'll cut through the door, and then the door will be open. You can use it. Well, the trigger is there still. It's there the whole time. It's been loaded by the map, and so we just push Snake's hitbox back far enough to touch the trigger and blow through the door. Luckily, because the door doesn't require a card, there's no check. So it's like, yeah, sure, you went through it, the door was open.
Super useful trick for us, and whoops, excuse me, let me pass.
Yeah, House is probably going to have to kill a couple of these guards here, because he got a little bit unfortunate on them.
Yeah, I wanted to do the card through the first guard, so there's no extra guards coming here, but should be fine. As long as I don't get shot while I open the door. There we go. I can just go through.
He has to kill a few guards close to this door, because if you get shot, obviously it just interrupts your opening, and you can't open this door. So, but usually the guy at the back is fine. He's so far away, he usually misses. So,
Yeah.
on to the second, the mini boss, the guard rush. House is gonna have to kill a bunch of guards here. And should be fine. Didn't get too bad of an RNG. This is another RNG thing because the guards can come out. They can go to different. They have specific spots sometimes they go to, and you kind of want the best patterns, but it's random. There's nothing you can do about it. It's determined as you come to a fight. So, but it wasn't too bad actually. So at least you didn't get any like hidden ones. Sometimes they just sit there and hide for a little bit, like they're awkward.
At the moment,
On to holds. House is going to do ladder glitch. Quick explanation of ladder glitch. House is going to basically soft lock his game, unfortunately.
Soft lock my game, yeah. So sadly this one is not valid anymore because I had to use the trainer to quickly get out of this locked state. It's a little bit of a risk, but it's totally worth it because it saves you like 2 seconds over the other method and a lot of seconds over just going down the ladder. But nevertheless, the second try that worked, and we just basically played 2 cutscenes at the same time to fall down without any cheat. Oh well.
Yeah. It's playing 2 animations over each other. One takes, one becomes the primary and is achieved. Oh, it's executed over here.
Yep. Just passing through here.
Unfortunate.
Let's do it again. There we go. And now it's time to leave the tank behind us. We're gonna take a few pictures here. 4 in total.
if not thousands of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat.
He's got to get 1 from the left, 1 middle, 1 right, and a Marines logo.
Proliferation will be contained.
And there we go. He took all 4.
Yep. There we go.
He did a little trick we call 2-spot photos. He took all 4 photos from 2 spots in the room. Normally you'd have to go, the Marines logo is on either side of the legs. It's on both like legs of raised at the back, and you have to go all the way to the side of each of those legs to get it. But when this game was like upscaled into 16:9, for some reason it just like skewed the hitboxes for those photos massively. And so we're able to take them from 2 spots. You don't even have to ever go near Ray, basically, to do it. You just take it from the 2 spots House take it from, and we get all 4 photos. And the game's like, yeah.
And funny enough, we recently relearned a while ago in the PlayStation 2 Japanese version, you can also just take free pictures on the lower difficulties, and the game just lets you bypass them. We can save even a little bit more time then.
Onto the plant.
Yep. Here's
This is
the
where
big
like the majority of the game, it's the majority of the game is in this section. Also, you can notice House has these little like he has text at the bottom here, and he's got a timer. Those were tools, external like scripts, that were made for us by the legend in our community, BMN. Yeah, BMN. He's made a lot of tools for us over the years, and these are just quality of life things. This timer is just telling us our in-game timer. It's just running off the in-game timer, and then the text at the bottom is turbo text. So this tells House whether his turbo's on or off, because we do allow turbo in this game.
We used to have only a sound cue, and we always have to activate it and deactivate it to check, okay, is it now active or not? But thanks to Beeman, we finally have the chance to actually see a little text that just says it's on or off, which is so much nicer.
Yeah. And you can still run with some sounds if you want to, if you enjoy having some fun sounds.
Yeah, I'm losing the vent sounds from Fallout, for example.
Stay on the lookout.
Sometimes it has to also have the audio cue as well.
He has made a bunch of other tools for us, but a lot of those are just practice stuff and things like that. So it's just useful for.
Yeah. For example, it's a little program that I used to quickly reset the room, or else I would have needed to restart the game, load a save. Especially for a marathon, it's nice I can just click a button and restart the level if I soft lock myself. So
yeah,
run's not valid, but at least the marathon can still continue.
Yeah, obviously you wouldn't use that in a full run. That would be
it would not be.
In this situation, it's just using it to
it's always
skip
good
the hassle of delaying everything.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine 5 minutes in, I gotta restart the game and I don't have any saves. But what? No, we do have saves, thankfully, and we do have little tools like that. It just allows us to quickly move on if there's a big mistake.
He's got to make his way to Strut C because he needs to get a 6,000-minute cutscene that he can skip, luckily, because he's on New Game Plus. If you're on New Game, if you just play the new game, there's an unskippable cutscene that's, no one actually knows how long it is because no one's ever timed it. But
it's incredibly
rumor has
annoying.
it. rumor has it it's multiple minutes long.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's unskippable. But on New Game Plus, it's skippable because the game's like, oh yeah, you've already listened to this once. Like, we're gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and just let you skip it, which is nice. It's about defusing bombs. It just teaches you how to defuse the bombs with the best bomb disposal weapon in the world, a bottle of Febreze.
Yep. Here's a question, chat here from CC asking, what's your stance on nuclear deterrence theory? I'll have you know that this is above my pay grade and I'm just here to run the game. I'm not, I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Nuclear deterrence. I don't know, it's a bit of a hot subject, isn't it? I mean, in an ideal world, if we're being serious, in an ideal world, obviously no one should have them, but unfortunately we don't live in an ideal world. There are some
things
people out there that...
And here we go, this is the cutscene that we're talking about. We get a little tutorial, but because we play a New Game Plus, we just can skip these two. There we go. Now this extra story, once we're done with that, we can finally continue on with bomb disposal.
Yeah. Gonna do counterclockwise route. This is a faster route than we used to do clockwise, which is House would be going the other way and already going to strut D, but instead he's coming back on himself, and he's gonna go counterclockwise because he needs to grab 2 cardboard boxes to do a glitch later on, which is going to allow him to save some time by skipping 2 bridges and 2 rooms on the backtrack section.
Yeah, the route that I'm using basically is so we visit each room only once, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yep, this one's hidden here.
It's also just much nicer in terms of the way rooms are set up that you come into them.
Freeze!
So saving time and having cleaner room entrances.
I personally learned this version quite quickly after I started running in general, because I just like the way it goes. A little bit less headache, I think.
What's going on? Respond!
These days, yeah.
Plus, especially on higher difficulties like normal, I like to have a box on me, just because it gives a little bit more protection, and you also walk faster, because when you get shot in this game, you stagger for a short moment. But if you're in the box, that doesn't happen, so in certain situations that can be helpful to be in faster.
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually when there's a backup guard at the end of the room. Because in normal, as you see, like House took an alert here at the top of the room. There's a camera that was just off camera, pun intended, that spots House, but House wants it to spot him. That's why he runs up there, because wherever the alert gets triggered, so wherever you get spotted from, if you get spotted from a camera, the guards will go to that spot. The backup unit will go to that spot first, because that's where you got detected. They don't you don't just get spotted and they're like, oh, he's in the middle. Like, they don't know he's there. They just know where he got spotted from because the camera spotted him there. And so that's where the guards go. So we get spotted by that camera to set up the next few rooms. We take the alert so the caution is there for the next few rooms, because it makes the next few rooms like just easier to get through in the way that the guards are in them. And then it allows the backup unit to go to the top, and House can grab the box without being interrupted. Because if he took the alert there, like if he got spotted by the backup unit or the guy outside the room and got a backup and got a call in from the guy outside the room, those guards would have come right to him and shot grenades at him, making his escape much more difficult, probably killing him.
Yep.
And then taking another continue there, so it wouldn't have been fun. And there's an exact example of the box trick there, like it allowed him to take shots from that backup unit guard and continue moving.
Yep. There we go, just doing a little cartwheel up here.
This is one of the most powerful tools in this series.
Oh yeah,
if anybody's ever seen MGS3 runs, that's probably the one game in the series where the box is the strongest.
Yeah, you can have also stealth if you unlock the item. There's stealth in almost all the games. But honestly, I still think the box is superior when it comes to playing fast.
Yeah.
Right, here's a little trick that we're gonna do. We're gonna get another alert this time.
Something over there?
Yeah. Gonna shoot as he enters this corner, and that delays this backup unit. Just keep them at the door, otherwise they'd be already halfway down the stairs. And that allows this last guard you see to stand in the doorway, so the door's open, and then House can just cartwheel through. The door is open. If he didn't do that second shot and take the alert, those guards would be, the 2 front guards would already be down on the flat for like the level part of the stairs, and they would have just kicked House, and that would have cost him time.
Yep.
So shoot, take another alert. They get stunned or whatever because they get alerted. So when guards take an alert, like they stop for a minute because they get the little exclamation mark for their head. And so you're already around the corner. Now they don't move down because they see you, so they're just going to shoot you from upstairs. Keep the box equipped so we don't stagger and cut through the door.
Yep. Well, it's all halfway
Sometimes
done
you can
with
still
the
get
bombs.
kicked, but
Yeah, but for the most part, I think I got it under control these days, thankfully.
it's going to grab the second box needed.
There we go.
These are the only 2 boxes we pick up because those are designated to go to the specific struts we need.
Mhm.
And now he's going to do the first part of this glitch. He has to do it twice, and this is the first one. It's called conveyor skip. We use the conveyor belt. Yeah. Now you can get on this conveyor belt like legitly. The game has the mechanic in it, just like the old trucks in say MGS1, where you just sit in the back of the truck and put the box on. In this game, it uses a conveyor belt because obviously we're on a like an oil rig sort of setup, so there is no truck, right? So we use a conveyor belt, and we just like we look in a specific direction. There is a visual cue that Hal's used on the other machine ahead of him, and then look in FPV, set it up, and then let go and just press triangle. And if you do it correctly, Raiden will just jump onto the conveyor belt. And you're not supposed to, obviously you can't do that, like you're not supposed to be able to do that, but the game, that's the glitch. Otherwise you'd have to sit on this little, like, it's almost like a scale. You have to sit there for like a few seconds before it like registers, and then you have to go through this mini cutscene. And yeah, it's too slow.
Yeah, it wants you to stop the conveyor belt and stuff. Excuse me, can I? There we go. The thing is, even if I fumbled there for a second, that's no problem because we actually have to wait for the alert to go away and turn into a caution. Yeah, caution.
Yeah. There are a couple of codecs that are mandatory, like you can't skip them. As soon as you exit a room or whatever at a specific point, like you get the codec regardless. There's no possible way to not get the codec, it's just part of the game.
Yeah.
And one of them is outside of this room, and you cannot take a mandatory codec on an evasion or alert. The game will just not give you them, so you'll continue on. And you'll have to take them later on when you lose the alert or evasion. But if you just wait in this room like a second, if you time it right, like you saw there with House, by the time he reaches the door, he'll get the caution, and then you just exit and get the codec.
Encounter.
And you need that codec to progress the game because that actually like changes the story flag.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to do the second conveyor glitch. Same thing again. Just going to lean back here, get the visual cue, get on, and then equip the box. Just walk in, and go to strut A, which is right where he needs to be. There's a little gap in between that. You saw where he was on the conveyor, but there's a little gap there next to the pillar. If he falls down there, that's a soft lock, and you're basically, it's GG. Like, you have to take a continue. You have to basically try and alert a guard to your presence, or on easier difficulties like VE, none of the guards can hear you, even if you shoot a loud weapon there, and you basically just, you basically have to reset the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So it can happen that you can easily softlock yourself.
Yeah.
So funny.
The safest way around that is as soon as you're on the conveyor belt, equip the box, because you cannot walk off on the box. You are stuck on the conveyor belt with the box on, so it's actually impossible to softlock.
That's why I did it for the second time there.
Yeah. And it's, trust me, it's very easy to fall in that gap. It's
Yep. There we go.
It's the last bomb. That is the last bomb for the actual bomb disposal section, I guess. There is one more bomb. That's after a boss fight. On to the oh nice, into the door.
Yeah, that was funny. Okay, I'm very early today. Let's go.
On to the first boss fight, if you can call it that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not much of a boss fight. It's just a on rails dodging simulator.
I'm just gonna wait here.
But it's not actually. This fight can be manipulated. House did 3 punches there at the beginning specifically to put himself in this position so that Fortune will shoot specific items. And if done correctly, he shouldn't get hit here. Yeah, there we go. He shouldn't get hit by the object. He should get shot, but he shouldn't get hit by anything when she blows everything up, which is good. Didn't you know? And now he's going to stand in specific spots around the room and try and get her to shoot objects. She needs to basically destroy a certain amount of objects in this room to speed up the fight. And the 2 barrels here, these yellow barrels, there's one on each side. These barrels do have to be hit. These are at least the guaranteed item, like objects in the room that need to be destroyed before the fight can progress to the end. Like, and this elevator is usually a good indication of like a halfway mark of the fight. If you get that elevator early, it's good. If you want that elevator early, that means you're getting a faster fight.
Excuse me, Fortune. Yeah, ideally she
Yeah,
doesn't
she-
say a single line of dialogue that
Yeah.
has her shoot more, and that seems to be what actually finishes the fight then afterwards.
Yeah, if you get dialogue, sometimes when she hits you or something, if she misses the object, she'll like laugh or say something, and you're losing time if you get that because yeah, she takes extra shots. That seemed pretty good though. Seemed like you got pretty. It was a pretty clean-ish.
120 segment, yeah, that's fine. It's a little bit luck dependent still. You can have a 117
Yeah.
or 120, but if it's in that range, that's good.
Yeah, she's still RNG. She can just miss shots. She has a giant railgun and she can still miss a shot like 2 feet from you. So
Yeah.
here's what it is. Little damage cancel there on the claymore. You basically run into a claymore as the camera switches, and there are other methods as well to do it, but in that specific spot, if you walk in there before, just as the camera transitions, like its angle, you just don't take any damage. You just skip the claymore, you hit the claymore, blow it up, and you carry on running. Nice little trick, damage cancelling.
Yeah, now we get to one item where we need exactly one bullet out of the
Yep.
M9.
The M9. This is actually a new addition to the route that was added in last year, towards the end of last year, like middle of last year. Yeah, it was like last year. Basically, because of another massive skip that's coming up towards like right at the end of the game, it's pretty much an end game skip, which you'll see eventually when we get there. We need to pick up the M9 for specifically one shot and one shot only. That is the only time you use the M9. In the previous route, we never used to grab it. You could grab it if you weren't so sure on your runs and stuff. Like if you felt more comfortable playing it a little bit safe, you could always grab it, but it was never needed. Now it's actually needed because if you don't do this skip, it's kind of like this skip was discovered and then it was like, well, you always have to do this skip now. It's kind of, you're just killing yourself in runs. Like, you're just killing your runs. You're just destroying your runs every time you get there. And it's end game, so, you have to play through like 45 minutes to then purposely kill your run if you're not doing the skip, so.
Yeah, let's hope this one goes well. This is Batman.
Yep. Second boss fight of the plant. It's going to hit him with a claymore, shoot him once, defuse this bomb, hopefully get a fast bomb, which he did, and then shoot him again. And now he's going to see where he goes. He went north, so that's good, actually.
Oh, that's good.
Want him to go north.
Way easier to find him then.
And now House is just going to chase him round. And then basically finish him there.
Nice.
And now he's going to
That's what
defuse
you
the
want
last
now.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't go that far away, and here's the final bomb.
Fat Man's RNG as well. Like, he can just go anywhere, basically. And it's random. There's no way to determine where he's going to go. You want him to go specific. We want him to go specific spots that aren't far away from us every time we knock him down. And he runs off. So, like, luckily House got a pretty good one there. First knock, he went north, which is good because it's super close. And then
you
second
can
time,
also-
he went round the corner and stopped. So
Yeah, and the way also the camera is angled at, it's way easier to find him if he goes north. If he goes south, then he's super far out of your way, and you have to sometimes look FPV, which is a hassle. And of course, you're still in the timer because the bombs are running.
yeah, we only defuse one there, depending on where he goes. Basically, if he went off to the left side of the map, House probably would have defused the second bomb or something, depending on how far he went.
Yeah,
It would
sometimes
been
you have to
easier
do that
get rid of the
first.
bomb.
Yep.
But luckily he didn't, so went right side close to House. House just defeats him because you can kill him quick enough, and then just defuse the last bomb with plenty of time.
Thankfully.
Yeah. There is a non-lethal strat to that fight, which is far easier to pull off in lower difficulties. It's doable on normal,
It's really
but
normal, but timing is
it's
also
hard.
very tricky here
yeah.
if you want to do it fast.
You,
So the
you
circle
can
method is
basically
still
use
the
the
easier
M9.
one.
Yeah. You can use the M9 to do a 5-shot, like basically one cycle.
Yep.
Almost.
Alright, it's time to grab some more stuff. We just got the BDU, which is the enemy uniform, but in order to be fully cloaked, we're gonna get the AKS here as well. And because I need it, I'm also gonna get these stunts.
Unfortunately, in higher difficulties, everything above VE, the AKS spawns in Batroom. In Strat F. In VE, it has a double spawn. It still spawns in that room, but it also spawns in the Shell 1 core where House is going to now. So every other difficulty, he has to grab it from Strat F, because we're on normal. Strat F.
You don't mind if I sneak in with a quick donation?
Sure.
Sure.
All right, this will give you something to chat about. We have $3 from Anonymous that says, if a crocodile steals a child and promises its return if the father can correctly guess exactly what the crocodile will do, how should the crocodile respond in the case that the father guesses that the child will not be returned?
It's too late for me to think about that.
I'd say
It's too early for me to think about that.
I had work last night and I woke up at like 4 p.m. I just don't have the mental brain power.
Apologies to the nice donation.
I've got just enough to keep on this run.
That $3 did go towards the sports story incentive, so
Let's
we are
go.
$30 away on that one, as well as getting us started on the character choice for Doraemon, giving us $3 toward the titular character. So if you have any strong opinions on that, now's the time.
Cool. House is just going to do a setup here. He's knocked on the wall because there's a guard that patrols out here, but we make him come out faster, like run out faster by knocking on the wall. And then he does a double punch off the panel, turns around enough so that he just gets the instant cutscene start. Excellent. And on to aims. We're looking for a mullet-wielding psychopath in this room. And House is just going to use a pause buffer here to see if he can spot him.
There you go. It's
He's
just
got
around
a
the
really
corner.
good one.
Who's that?
Oh, seriously? Seriously? I never had that happen before. Normally, you just have enough time to quickly get out the D-mic, press the triangle, and then you get the prompt. It just ignores the guard.
Super unfortunate.
I'm just gonna walk the long way. Oh, it's actually the same position. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it should be the same position.
Alright, that's good.
There we go. That's super unfortunate.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Kept the BDU on this time. It's fine. So
Yeah.
you don't lose that much fine. The thing with the BDU is, if you enter when you enter a room that there's a cutscene preceding it, like immediately it goes into a cutscene, it fades out and then fades into a cutscene.
Yeah.
That has Raiden in it. When he's wearing the BDU, it takes longer to start that cutscene. Like it's an extra second or so to start a cutscene because the game has to render the BDU over Raiden. Like it's a uniform, so it renders over Raiden. So it's got to render Raiden and then the uniform on top of him. It's like a separate skin, separate texture. And so you want to take it off when you enter that room. At the same time you choke the guard, you can like double tap the triggers and get all your weapon and the BDU off. And then you also want to do that for the after you talk to Ames as well. You'll do that one. You talk to Ames just so that he's not in it, because there are some cutscenes in there that will render Raiden with the BDU on.
Oh, the camera didn't see me at all. That was nice.
Nice escape from Shell 1 there. That's actually like one of the hardest rooms to do for like
Yeah.
people learning normal. It's just pure timing. Like you have to get used to the timing of that room. Like House has like a split second to get himself out of that room because he needs to like cartwheel. He needs to hold up the guard, as you saw, that he's walking behind. Then he needs to
Somebody there.
cartwheel through the backup unit, not get kicked by him. He needs to walk through and cartwheel him, and then he's going to get spotted by the camera. So he has to get out the door before the camera calls the alert, because the camera doesn't delay. The camera just spots you and then will call the alert.
Instantly,
Like
yeah.
it's
As you can see, it's way easier with the caution because guards are way out of the way. There's no extra backup guards for the most part.
yeah.
Nice.
And he's got the BDU equipped here because the BDU actually acts as a slightly like bit of extra camo. Like
Yes.
guard the range in which guards will spot you is reduced when you're wearing the BDU.
Yeah, so even without the headgear, we're still being protected a little bit from it.
Just don't delete it in this room. Yeah.
Yeah, a few weeks ago I managed to actually start deleting items because I got kicked. So I was in a box,
Yeah.
I unequipped the box, switched to the previous, and then I got kicked, and then this kick accidentally deleted the item. So I was standing there like, where's my BDU? Where's my BDU?
We labbed it out. Unfortunately, it's no use to us, but yeah, House found for now, a useless trick that we found out how to delete items from inside the game.
Who knows, maybe one day it will get interesting.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll find a use for it. Right now, it has no use. Other than novelty of deleting multiple items.
My time will come for a name trick.
He's just got to take out the sensors here, and then he's going to start the next boss fight, which is the Harrier. Which is pretty much like the midpoint for the game.
Yep.
And also, the bane of any run's existence is Harrier, because it can go good or it can go badly, and it can do either of those things quickly. Gonna try and get the most damage here, which is like 5+1 or 5+1. So
There you go.
it's got 5 shots, and he needs the +1 here. Looks good.
Looking good. Good start.
5+1. That's full damage off the start. There is technically an IL strat, which we call 6-shot, but it's an IL strat for the boss IL, so
Yeah.
it's not really
crazy
going for
precise.
in runs. It's possible to do in runs, but it's pretty insane. And if you miss it, GG's. Like, you're losing so much time if you don't get it, and it's precise. So 5+1 is safer because 5+1 is free. He's going to hit an overhead headshot there. Quick overhead shot. He's good.
Doesn't
That
have
one
to
might
fight.
not. Yeah. This one. Oh,
This one did it. Alright, okay. That's fine.
He got
Yeah.
out before missile phase.
That's good.
Normally, in normal, it's quite common to hit missile phase at least right at the start, and then like finish the fight right at the beginning of missile phase. When the Harrier goes underneath that you saw there, just as House ended the fight, he's going to come back up and then just shoot a load of missiles at you.
Yep.
It's quite common to see that in normal. In lower difficulties, you should never want to see that. That's a slow fight. But you can end the fight in normal early, like you saw House. House could have ended it earlier on that second shot as he was turning the corner to come underneath. But unfortunately, he lost the lock. And if you shoot a stinger and then move it to lock on, you pretty much never hit the
Yep.
Harrier.
Normally we would put
And
on
then
the BDU here, but if you shoot the AK and only distract the first guard, you get a little bit of a time save. Sadly, I distracted both of them, so I had to wait a little bit longer. But at least I still didn't need to do the menu here, which is quite long.
Yeah. Yeah, normally they sit there and one guy waits and the other guy's talking or something and moves out. But yeah, like I said,
Oh, let's
you
go,
shoot
no
the,
alert.
you shoot the wall there.
Here we're gonna have the nice little cutscene that sometimes happens if you don't have an alert.
Yeah. This guy's stuck on the roof up here.
It's a marathon and it's already not legitimate. We're gonna watch this quickly.
Going to go in my pants.
This guy didn't go before the run. You see, he made the
Yeah,
mistake.
see,
of
it's
not going
like,
to the toilet before the
oh my
run.
god, it's disgusting.
The problem with the plant is this guy has to stay on this roof because, you know, it's a very important patrol. And there's only one set of toilets and then they're all the way on the other side of the plant. So he can't make it there in time.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? He just has to go.
It's
They
one
didn't
of
really
those
think
things
about this place
that
when
is
they
funny.
planned building this. So they
Yeah,
put the toilets
it's
in
not
one
even a
section
Dixie
and one
on
out.
top of that. Alright, here we go.
This is another section where you don't want the BDU on. This is what I was saying. When you load into a cutscene, this would take longer to load because of the BDU. So we don't have it on. Little trick House pulled here. It saves like some frames here by turning. You can turn in that cutscene there because it's control. And that was found by the one and only Apache Smash, who was in chat earlier. That is his contribution. Other than being like a great runner and a good runner of M2, like, you know,
Yeah,
other than being.
Yeah, speaking
Yeah,
of
absolutely
load
genius,
times and
it is.
everything, we can quickly also talk a little bit about the PC version. The PC version is a port of the original Xbox version of MGS2 Substance, the platform where the game basically came out first in this Substance release. There's two of them, and later also HD. And the cool thing is that the Xbox version ran so bad, the developers were like, you know, we gotta do something. So the IGT is actually stopped when the game loads into the next room, which is super useful. Load remove timer, I love that already. And additionally, also if the game slows down, IGT also slows down. So even if you have like a bad system that doesn't like cannot play the game at full 60 FPS, it doesn't matter. It can still be competitive at the top level because the timer actually counts for that slowdown. It's super useful.
Yeah, but it accounts for all of the lag that this game
Yep.
is giving you. Some of it, it's really weird. It's not one. I don't think it's 100% known exactly how what it also is doing for the most part. But like, there's still a slight loss of time, but it's very minuscule. Like, it accounts for lag, but then it also doesn't account fully. Like, it's not 100%.
Sometimes it's weird, yeah.
Yeah. But it's good enough to the point where it's like super useful for us. Like, it's
Yeah.
super useful.
And the weirdest thing, once they ported Substance over to PS2, they actually removed that. So in PS2 Substance, then the timer is once again basically RTA, loads do count, slowdowns do count, so
Yeah.
weird that they changed it back again. right, we're gonna meet the president. Just took out the electro panel here, so we can now step over here. And hopefully he will survive. Let's wish him good luck.
Yeah. Pretty long codec cutscene.
Yeah.
Part here that House is skipping through with Turbo.
Yeah, it's one of the great things that we have allowed for this run. Turbo on any button. It's not just useful for codecs and cutscene skipping, sometimes it's also very useful for boss fights. So for the area, for example, I personally find it way easier to just hold down the square button and focus instead on the aiming. But you can also do most of these things without Turbo. Just sometimes it's a convenience thing.
these photos.
Yep. Oh, super long cutscene.
Yeah. This is really the halfway point where, you know, okay, there's now more story, more explanations, but still not enough explanations. And so we're going to move on and we're going to show you a nice little new glitch. Well, not new to us, but definitely another thing that we're going to do now. Instead of swimming through the whole level, we're just going to ignore that and instead just take the elevator up. Yeah, on PS2 it used to be that we literally can go prone in front of an elevator and go out of bounds by just pressing a button. On Substance we cannot do that anymore, but we can still find a way to go out of bounds.
Yeah, they fixed that in the Substance version. But we have another trick to go out of bounds. It's called Swim Glitch. Charles is going to perform here. It's basically a swim and air trick. He's going to make Ryan swim against the corner of this wall. And he's going to do a specific set of inputs, which he's doing. He's doing a time.
My timing is not the best today. Come on, there you go.
He's going to push Ryan up the wall by swimming into the corner. And then, because they don't expect you to get up here, obviously, because you shouldn't be able to swim in there, they didn't put any collision on the ceiling, because they're like, well, no one's going to get up here, and there's no possible way to get up here. Little did they know. Swim and air, swim glitch, and we can just get out of bounds, straight into the vamp fight, and then Kelsey's just going to do a lethal, just the fastest way, just time the stingers out. Boom.
Yep.
Done.
Yep. 10 shots in
Kelsey's
total we
using
need.
a visual cue there. Basically, you want to shoot a stinger as soon as you see the red part of his health bar come up. Before that disappears, you want to shoot the next stinger.
That's right.
So it's just a little timing thing. You get used to it, obviously, as you run the game. So it's something every runner sort of just gets a feel for. But we do have the visual cue there to help.
Now it's time to find Emma, which usually we're gonna drag all the way through, but also here we have found a few cool things that I'm gonna show you in this run.
Yep.
First, of course, we're gonna get through more codecs and more dialogues.
Song story.
Yeah, there is a big bounty to get some big any percent skip, which so far sadly we have not managed to find in 20 years or more than 20 years now. So if one day people can find a way to, for example, get access immediately to the end game levels, that would be a massive jump forward.
Yeah.
But the game is relatively watertight for the most part. Just smaller things here and there that help us.
Yeah, they did a very good job on this in terms of like keeping it locked down. And I mean, the glitches we do have, like, you know what I mean, like they're great. We like having them, but they don't save like massive amounts of time. They're only little chunks here and there.
Yeah.
So now we're on the escort part. As Hal said, we're gonna have to escort Emma. But are we really? Well, let's see. Let's find out and see.
Yeah.
Because there may be a little surprise when we don't have to escort her.
Yeah, hopefully it will work, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna go for it. That's the thing.
Yeah. House is just going to go for a glitch that was discovered maybe 2 years ago now. It's hard to keep track. I can't keep track of when.
Been a little bit. I think 1.5 years, something like that.
Yeah, 1.5, 2 years, something like that. It's relatively old for us nowadays, but still like fresh in terms of the game's age when it was discovered. Basically, we were able to find out how to zip Emma, and when a runner by the name of Miss Chelsea's was doing she was just doing runs, and then the run failed or whatever, but she was just continuing with it as you do, just to see it through. And she had a backup unit come in, so she hid behind the wall with Emma, because if they come, like when they come in, if you take it like that, like it's just done for, like you're just probably going to die anyway. You can't get out of the room.
Yeah.
And so she hid behind the wall and let them pass, and then she was waiting for them, and when they passed, she moved and bumped Emma, and it just like zipped her out of existence. It just removed her. She just disappeared. It was like removed from the level. And then when she reset the room, when she exited and reset the room, she came back. So House is going to do that. You know, we labbed this out and we found out how to sort of pretty much get it going. Unfortunately, House didn't get the.
Well, we have a little bit of time. There you go. So she's gone.
There we are.
This is a setup that I tried to do in the beginning, specifically going top right, good looking first person, holding her and stuff like that. And usually it's very reliable, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't want to do it. But yeah, she gets put out of balance. Yeah, it's usually execution. Yeah. And yeah,
but it's very easy to not execute it.
The thing why we needed to go down the elevator is if I go down the elevator, oh, excuse me, sir. Can you wait for a second?
Enemy sight.
There you go. Come on. We gotta leave before the backups come.
Yeah, let's leave before the backup. He'll have enough time. They'll come through this door, but he'll be leaving by the time they.
There we go. Okay.
And then we have another one out here, but it's much harder to execute because there's no, like, there are setups for it, but there's no real way, because she bounces along a wall in this one instead of like the elevator where she's just in a corner.
Yeah, okay, she fell over. If she falls over, I have to position her again, so I'm gonna cancel it. We're just gonna go the normal way.
Yeah, this one's much harder. Like, it's still hit and miss, and this one, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, you can practice it a lot. There's different versions you can do, but sometimes it just doesn't want to do the thing. Which is fine.
They're not required to get like a decent time anyway. They're not like, it's not like the be all end all. Like, you don't have to do them at all.
Yeah, but I spend a lot of time learning these and trying to master them, so I can show them off on marathons like these. So I think they're still cool to show at least. But yeah, if you run this, don't worry. There's way easier rounds that you can do without these crazy glitches. Oh, okay, I didn't want to shoot that one. It's fine. Here we go.
Just gotta spray the fire when you see the smoke come off. When you see the grey smoke, that's when you've sprayed enough. It's gone.
Yep.
Then we just wait to the edge of this wall and we're far enough and we can just go straight into the cutscene.
Yep. Right,
almost done dragging Emma.
Yeah.
Sniper section soon. Twilight sniping. It's basically just a 5-minute section of nothing besides shooting.
Just relax and kick back. 5.5 minutes.
That we'd be so happy to skip if we could figure out a way to skip.
Yeah. But so far nothing, not even a sketch idea that we have, which is unfortunate. We do know that
there was a little trick recently discovered.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead.
Basically, if you like look at her, there's a chance that she like stumbles forwards, because normally when you look at her, she falls over and then you lose like 6-7 seconds or whatever for her to get up. She like falls over and then she's got the longest like stand-up animation because her legs she's been pumped full of tranquilizers. That's why you have to drag her, and then all of a sudden by the time you get here, enough time has passed to the point where she could somewhat walk. And then normally we only ever thought for a long time, because that's all we've ever seen, I think, or not even really paid attention to it, but normally when you look at her in a certain, like with a scope or zoom in on her, she just falls over and she falls backwards, right? So she has to get up and it takes forever, you lose like 6 seconds, but she can sometimes stumble forwards a little bit, and that actually gains you time because it moves her forwards, like, and she's got to walk across all these 3 like oil fences that she's on, and obviously, like I said, she doesn't move very fast because she's like, her legs have been trained, so she's only just able to move a little bit now.
Mm-hmm.
But when she stumbles forwards, like she stumbles forwards a good, like a fair distance, and it saves you like, I think it's like, I don't know, maybe a second, maybe less than a second, yeah, a few seconds or so. You can save every time you do it. The problem is it's random. Like, you have to look at her and risk her potentially falling backwards. So you either gain a second or lose 6. And this can happen multiple times throughout this entire like section. You can look at her at any point on the oil fence, and if she falls backwards, like, it's just multiple time losses, unfortunately. So there's no way, like, we haven't found a way, there's a consistent way to get the forward stumble, because if she stumbles forward, she doesn't fall over. She just stumbles forwards and continues walking.
Yeah, so that was close. You don't want to have the second guard that comes out on the bottom right to move all the way to the center, or else he will start seeing Emma, start shooting. Emma will need crouch down, and it's an alert phase, and that will cost us like, I think, 10 seconds or so. It's like a massive time loss.
While we're waiting on the guards, can I sneak in with a donation?
Of course, yes.
Super quick one. No comment on this, but we do have $17 from Cryptic Fisher. So thank you very much for that generous donation and for putting us only $13 away from meeting our upcoming incentive.
Let's go.
13 more, and we will get to actually play golf in the golf sections of Sports Story.
Let's go. I miss looking out for another guard here. There are 4 guards coming around the normal, so it's fine. There's nothing here on the right side. I can just look at this little corner. And you see me
He should
starting
come
to
from the
shake
left.
after a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I see him.
Yeah, he always comes from the left.
Yeah, he's down. But you see me starting to shake after a while, and that is because I don't want to use the Pentas actually. For the most part, we only use 5 in the entire game if we have to. The rest is basically optional. And it lasts just enough so for parts like where we need to look at specifically at these guards here, that's where I use one. I used one in the bridge before the area. And then I needed one specifically also to shoot out these claymores that we have here lying around.
Each tablet is 30 seconds in game. Each tablet's 30 seconds of time.
Yeah.
So they last 30 seconds and you can stack multiples. Eating multiple stacks at a time. House did actually do a trick at the beginning, like outside before he started the run, outside of the run. You load a save, give yourself like infinite pentas with the trainer on PC, you can do it infinitely. This can be done legitly as well, even on console. This is possible, this trick is possible, and it works on console. There's no like specific platform that does it, like they all do it. Basically, you load a save on the PC in this instance, give yourself like every weapon and every item, which gives you like max amount of pentas. It's like 300 something thousand pentas. And you eat like 300 to 400 pentas, and that gives you about, and like I said, pentas stacks. So that gives you about 3 or 4 hours of pentas worth, and that will last through the, like, that's more than enough for the game. I mean, the game only requires like, I don't know, a few minutes in sections anyway, that you use it in. And then you take a death, and instead of hitting continue, you quit. And for whatever reason, the game's memory decides to store that pentas value. And so you have, say, 3 or 4 hours of pentas still running while you're in the main menu. Like, it's still there and it's still ticking away.
Yep.
And then you load your save, your new game plus
Start
save.
a new run.
And you get the pentas effect. You get your arm does not shake for 4 hours in your run.
Mm-hmm.
And so we normally would do that in higher difficulty, so you do it off the rip, and then anytime you get to a section like before the Harrier fight, like Hal said, where you'd have to shoot the sensors out, or this section mainly because you lose a lot more time in this section than you would in the other section, you don't have to ever open the menu for pentas. And we don't like to open the menu, because unfortunately when you open the menu, gameplay stops, but IGT continues ticking, and that means we just lose time because the game stops, but our timer doesn't. And we measure all our times in IGT, so all our board times are IGT, they're not RTA.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, I had this death at aim, so that effect was gone. And I have to do this the classic way, you want to call it. But yeah, as I said, you can get by with the 5 you get at the Harrier Bridge, and accidentally had double ons for A2. I'm just gonna do the same thing here.
Luckily, this section is almost over. We're just waiting for Emma to walk to a specific spot. She needs to walk close to this last strut there, pole in the way. There we go. And then we'll start the Vamp 2 fight. This fight's pretty easy. You just basically
There you go.
shoot him until he's dead. You can go for a headshot. That's the IL strat, because it takes on normal. I believe it's 2 headshots, 2 or 3 headshots to kill him. On VE, it's 1 shot. But most of the time, you just don't go for it in a run, because it's next to impossible to hit a headshot perfectly in like a split second.
Yeah, it's literally just a few frames.
So we usually just don't move, because for whatever reason, his hitbox is slightly extended than it needs to be, and you can just hit him.
Yep.
Now we're getting towards the end of the game. House used to start across this bridge, and earlier when he crossed this bridge, back in the early game, the panels fell down. When he was exiting Shell 1, the panels that fell down do not respawn. So you want to make sure you don't, like, basically scuff this section early on. If you lose all those panels, say you just run across them and House didn't cartwheel, all these panels would be gone, and he'd have to shimmy across the bridge, which would cost him so much time.
Yep.
So you want to move across them and cartwheel across them and try to land on specific panels, because there will always be panels that fall. There will always be panels that fall, but you want to try and get the least amount of panels falling so that you have a very nice, smooth run across.
Yeah, you can have only 2 panels drop, and that makes it then very easy to just cartwheel over the right ones.
Jack the Ripper.
Now we're at the end part of the game. End game.
You know this fellow?
There's a little tutorial where I don't need to press anything, so I'm just gonna have some water and hydrate.
You've grown.
And if you're like us, you can probably recite every piece of
Cerebral
dialogue in the game after you've run it so many times. Outside of just being a casual player of the games originally, like
Yeah.
you start to run it thousands and thousands of times, and you just remember all the dialogue off by heart.
Yeah, this cutscene sadly was not skippable because it's technically a tutorial where you can press the buttons, but if you don't press anything, as you've seen, it doesn't even reach the end of the oxygen actually taking damage.
Listen,
Yeah, you can't take damage there in any difficulty.
brace
Like Hau5test,
yourself.
it's just a tutorial for the upcoming actual torture scene.
Yep. Which is coming later.
Also in this section, Hau5test is going to call in Rose early. Normally you would like you raise Red and raise his head and then you wait for Rose to call you. You can just call her and get the same codec.
Yep.
So we just call her and it actually releases you a few seconds earlier than normal.
X-Ride.
And the sunglasses, the swag glasses, the Ray-Bans.
Yeah, you'll get these if you have a New Game Plus Plus or just even numbered New Game Plus save.
Yeah.
Sadly, no
This room's
smoking
actually-
here. That would be nice.
Yeah. This room is like super difficult. It's all based on timing. I mean, it's not going to be difficult for Hau5 because he's done it enough. But
We'll be fine.
when you first start learning this run and you get into this room, this is where a lot of people struggle. It's all based on timing. So the first codec, you hold select when you enter the room. You want to hold select as you exit the little medical torture room into this room. You hold select and that will give you the codec immediately. Like as soon as it comes in the game, will just give you the codec, like it buffers it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is the one on the stairs, and you kind of want to answer it on basically the first frame. So it's just about timing. You get used to where it is and what step it's on, things like that. And you want to answer that immediately, and that will allow you to get past that first Tengu that Hau5 rolled into. Because if you don't, he'll just turn around, give you an alert, and now you can't pretty much make it across the gap that Hau5 got, the gap that he cartwheeled across, because you'll just get shot midair and fall down. And if you fall down, it's an instant 14-second loss on top of just getting shot all the way to the end of the room.
Yeah, there's one ration at the bottom which you will need starting on normal difficulty, or else you will not even make it to the top. You just die, sadly.
Yeah, there's too many Tengus, and they just chase you to your exact spot, and they shoot you and kick you and knock you down, and it's just horrible.
So look here
Now
at
another
Snake's
tutorial
glasses.
section.
Ooh.
He's on the blue ones. It's another
just have to
tutorial
wait.
section. It just wants you to get used to the sword mechanics. There's actually a 45-second timer here, like internally, that runs outside of the IGT, and it starts when you swipe the sword, so that's why Hau5 swipes at the beginning.
Yep.
The game obviously doesn't tell you that ever.
Nope.
Because it probably assumes that you're going to swipe it anyway, right? It's a tutorial section. You're probably just going to start swinging the sword, start the timer. So we just start the timer and then run to the north here, because you actually, if you sit around Snake, the timer is slower. It's actually slightly slower. You lose time.
That's honestly safe game design. If you put a sword in a player's hand, they're gonna play with it.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, you've effectively built in an anti-soft lock spot, because they're never going to get stuck there eventually. Eventually they're going to get through. This Tengu 1's pretty simple. Hau5 is just going to run to the end, use the box, as you can see, as we said earlier. When he gets shot in the box, he doesn't get staggered like that. So he's using the box to once he killed this last Tengu, and then he's going to do door skips.
Yep.
Punch, kick, and Raiden will push through. It's similar to the Prozac skip that we saw in the tanker, where he skipped through the door. Snake doesn't have the ability to do that because of his melee attack, but Raiden does. So, and this is what we needed the M9 for. This is a new trick. New in quotations marks. So this is coolant skip for Tengu 2, and it's only possible on normal difficulty and above. You can do it on VE and easy, but those fights are already faster than normal and above, like the actual length, the average length of the fight. And so doing this skip on easy and VE would actually lose you time. But on normal and above, it's the best thing we've managed to get working on PC. And I say known newfound trick in quotation marks because this trick's been known forever on console. It's only ever been thought that it was possible on console because no one's ever managed to get it to work on PC. But then basically one of the best runners of this game, Platonic Guy, was messing around one day, as he always does, as we always like laugh about, because he always is like just messing around with stuff, and he managed to find that this worked. And then another great runner of the series, like probably one of the second best runners of this game at least, made it a bit more consistent, D-Limes13, by finding out if you just like punch kick the Tengus after House sprays them here, it will knock the alert down enough to basically skip this fight. This fight is 1 minute, I think it's 1 minute 45 on average, this fight on normal.
Yeah.
And House basically saves something like 30 seconds by doing that trick. We basically save like 30 seconds by doing that trick properly.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So it's an old trick that was kind of rediscovered for PC.
Solid snake simulation.
Yeah, Amazip, for example, is PC exclusive as far as we know, because I tried getting to work on any other platform, but only on PC we can make her basically pop out of bounds. So it's cool to see that something that was console exclusive is also now additionally works on PC, with this little addition of just, picking a few of these cards.
And the funniest bit about it is this trick on console is actually slow. It's not used anymore because there's faster tricks on console. Technically,
sometimes
there are faster tricks to do. It depends what you're doing, but there are some faster tricks on console.
Yeah, sometimes for a marathon run, if you're on the highest difficulty, you still use this because it's just super easy.
It's clean. It saves you from dying. But yeah, that was just like basically rediscovered for PC. It's nice. It's in my guess, and like we've like tried to think about like why they would do this, but my guess is the devs put it in to stop a soft lock there, because players could potentially just be like in that fight forever. So my guess is there's like an absolute time limit or a specific thing that stops this section from soft locking. That would be my guess, and so we just managed to figure out a trick that works.
Here we go.
Now we're on the raise. It's the second to last boss fight in the game, and House is going to set up what we call the Ray loop by shooting these rays in a specific order first. And then basically what that's going to do is set the rays up to have specific rays jump on stage and have specific rays stay what we call off stage. So the ones that don't jump on stage, because not all the rays jump on stage. So he's going to take this first one out, and then he's going to move over and take this second one out. And he's leg heading them so that he does the most damage, because you need to have their mouth open for a critical shot, and the best way to do that is either hit them in the leg so they do it after the leg shot, or if the timing's right, sometimes when they're doing their like hydro cutter weapon from their mouth, you can hit them there. So he's going to hit this one, and he's going to hit this one, and then he'll hit this one again, and then this one should jump on stage when it moves, I think. And you can see them in the background.
Slowly jumping up now.
He's going to wait. Yeah, so he's going to wait for this one. He's making the loop look easy, but trust me, this loop is not easy, because there are certain, like, you have to know which ray to hit and what body parts. So like in this specific one, BO1F, you need to hit this one in the head, the one that's behind him there that he's targeting right now. This one has to be hit in the head when it jumps on to the fight.
Yeah, otherwise should be good on ammo now.
Yeah, there we go. And it's so that you do enough damage to make it jump on stage to do what you need to do. Nice, and he should be good. He's still. Now he should just have to leg head these two basically back to back.
Not quite, because they're so close. Sometimes they just top of each other. Yeah. There we go. One more shot, and that's it.
Yeah, there we go. He has to basically on normal deal 7 rays worth of damage. So it's not actual rays like killed, it's just their health bars worth of damage. So 7 of those rays. So he could not kill the rays. Like he could only kill a certain amount. He could actually just kill a specific amount of rays, but as long as he does enough damage to the other ones that equal, he'll get through that fight. Now this is the scene of why Turbo was voted to be allowed a few years ago. House is just going to match it because he doesn't have to worry too much. He's pretty good at mashing, and it's on normal anyway.
I don't even need to mash that fast. Like it's relatively slow, as you can see. But since the duration isn't even that long, I can just do it very relaxed.
Yeah, on normal, it's still not that bad. Mainly the turbo thing was for European Extreme. On the PC version, because it's technically an original version of Substance, it comes from, like Hal said earlier in the run, it comes from the Xbox port. It's not HDC, it is an original copy, port of the Substance thing.
Yep.
European Extreme has like a minute straight of mashing required, and you have to mash, by the way. Like, it's not a case of like you could do what House did there, where he was like kind of tapping it, but like no.
Yeah,
if you do that, you're dead in like 2 seconds on the.
I think it's something like
European
12
Extreme.
presses a second or so. Like it's
Yeah.
Okay, 12 per second is something wrong, but
And so we
12
voted
something.
on. It was voted to allow turbo a few years ago because most of us are getting older and we don't want to damage our wrists and things like that.
Yeah, we don't want the RSI.
And also, it's just an accessibility feature for people who already have a medical condition or something. Like, we're not, stopping those people from enjoying learning the run. We've allowed people to be, and everybody's allowed to use it. It's not like, you can use it or you don't have to use it. It's not a requirement, and it's not, it's not forced, and it's not also like the end of the world if you don't want to use it. You don't have to use it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slap around solo to see it for a little bit.
Yeah. He's doing another loop. This is what we call the solidness loop. So the last two bosses have a loop, basically. It's done on higher levels. As you can see here, House is hitting on his bad side, hitting him on his good side, sorry, and then hitting him on his bad side. So it's a cool mechanic, actually, and like it never explains it, but it makes sense. The devs actually put in these little details. Solidus has an eye patch. If you've played this game, I mean, it's been out for 20 plus years, so most people should know. He has an eye patch on one side, and then he has a good eye on the other side. You can see out of one eye and you can't see out the other. So the loop is we attack him on his good side, which he blocks because he can see the attack coming, and then you switch to his bad side quick enough, and he can't see that attack coming. So his peripheral vision is obscured because of it, because he's missing the eye, and so he can't see your attack. So then you just hit him twice on the good side, twice on the bad side. If you hit him 3 times, you will knock him down. That's why we only hit him twice. And this is the fastest way to beat him. Yep. It's got another 2 hits.
That's
There we
time.
go. And that's time.
Yippee! Now, what you see on screen, the top left is at the top the last set that I did, where basically the credits begin, and the bottom one is basically just adding 9.5 minutes on top, which is the duration of the credits. So the final time in IGT will be 1 hour, 8 minutes, 46 seconds. Considering how many issues there were in the run, this is just plus 1 minute 14 seconds for my PB. I'm happy, especially for a Friday evening. I had a long week at work, so I'm glad that this is how it went. And I hope you all out there had a lot of fun with this run.
108 is a respectable time for normal.
Absolutely. I think it's still like top 5.
I think I found something to tell.
It's definitely a good run.
That was a blast. Great run. If people want to see more of either of y'all, where can we find you?
Yeah, of course. Well, let's start off where the 2 of us can actually be seen soon. We're gonna do a Deus Ex Human Revolution race soon for Limeade 4 over on DLimes13's Twitch channel. That's gonna be fun if you want to see something else from me that's not Metal Gear. Sometimes I do that, like Deus Ex. And of course, on both of our channels, we'll do some warm-up stuff. Get ready for that. Maybe do a race even before that. So if you want to see me, go to twitch.tv/Hau5test. As long as we use Twitch, you heard the drama. And if not, I'm also everywhere else as Hau5test. So just if you want to have a platform where you want to find me, just try Hau5test and you will find me.
And then, you can find me at my Twitch, which is just theory_UK. I haven't streamed that much in like the past year or so, but I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to get some runs down and some runs back in and de-rusting, things like that. So yeah, find me over there or around Discords if you're in any of them.
Yes. Also, if you want to learn this game or any other in the Metal Gear series, join the Metal Gear Speedrunners server. It's linked on every speedrun page at the top right corner for any game of the series, of course, and we happily teach you this game or any other. Join us, please. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much, y'all. We're going to throw it to a quick intermission and Twitch ad, and then I will see everybody on the other side.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Just a quick reminder as we are finishing setting up Sports Story, we are $13 away from meeting that incentive to seriously golf the golf sections. That is so close. I know that we can finish that up at just the last second here. It only takes 1 or 2 or 3 small donations and we can make it happen. Just a few minutes left for that, so if someone's got a snipe in their heart, now's the time to make it happen. Extra fun stuff from that. A $13 donation towards that could also go towards the Yellow Birdo, which would put the Yellow Birdo at $47 against Black's $50. And that would give us an actual contest going in that. So 13 towards both of those could do a lot of work right now. Just to remind you, in case you are thinking about donating, here's what you're donating for. We're donating toward Save the Children, an incredible charity that does some incredible work around the world, helping children with everything from, making sure they have quality education, making sure children have access to food, making sure that there are boots on the ground helping in post-disaster relief. Quick blurb from the charity themselves. For the first time in human history, an entire generation has had their education disrupted. In April 2020, over 1.6 billion learners were out of school. When children miss out on education, they feel the impacts the rest of their lives. A good quality education helps children reach their full potential. Save the Children does a ton of work to make sure that children who have had their education disrupted either by the COVID-19 pandemic or by other factors have access to teachers and resources that they need to make up for that lost time, to have an effective education and a successful future. Oh my goodness. Things are just rolling in over here. Let's see some golf, y'all. We have $20 from Hau5test. It says, thanks for having us for MGS2 and good luck to all coming runners. Let's see those incentives met, everyone. Thank you so much, Hau5test. And again, fantastic run. And another $10 from Miss Chelsea's. It says, well done on the run, House. Always good to see some love from other runners for the game that they run. Miss Chelsea's is a great MGS runner. And we love to see that support within a community. And with that, we have met our Seriously Golf the Golf sections incentive. We will be seeing some golf in Sports Story. Those donations both went towards Chameleon colors for Chameleon Twist 2. So we have a contest going now there. We've got $25 for Orange, which is Fred, and $10 for Linda, who is Pink. All right, I'm getting word from the powers that be. We are ready to shift over to our next run, so we're going to get on over there for Sports Story, Any Percent No FF by Reichelt.